Few figures in modern history have commanded as much attention and sparked as much debate as Donald John Trump. Born in 1946, his life story reads like an American epic, a whirlwind of ambition, wealth, fame, and ultimately, political power. From his early days as a determined real estate developer in New York City to his unexpected rise to the presidency, Trump's journey has been one of constant reinvention. His name has become synonymous with both opulent success and bitter controversy, a testament to his undeniable charisma and the polarizing nature of his actions. Love him or loathe him, one cannot deny the profound impact he has had on American society and the global stage. This is the story of Donald Trump, a man who embodies the American dream and its contradictions, leaving an indelible mark on the 21st century. Donald Trump's story is, in many ways, a quintessential New York narrative. Born into a family deeply embedded in the city's real estate industry, he inherited his father's business acumen and a penchant for bold ventures. From the gleaming skyscrapers of Manhattan to the glittering casinos of Atlantic City, Trump's name became synonymous with luxury and a relentless pursuit of success. His early career was a mix of high-profile wins and public setbacks, a roller coaster ride that fueled his ambition and solidified his image as a master dealmaker. But Trump's aspirations extended far beyond real estate. He craved the spotlight and found it in entertainment. His best-selling book, The Art of the Deal, transformed him into a business icon, while his reality TV show, The Apprentice, cemented his status as a household name. Trump's ability to captivate an audience and his knack for self-promotion laid the groundwork for his most audacious venture yet, a run for the highest office in the land. Donald Trump's entry into politics was nothing short of seismic. His 2016 presidential campaign, fueled by populist rhetoric and promises of economic revival, resonated with a segment of the American public disillusioned with the status quo. His victory, against all odds, exposed deep fissures within the country, highlighting anxieties over globalization, immigration, and the perceived failures of the political elite. Trump's presidency was a period of intense turmoil and division. His policies, from immigration bans to trade wars, sparked protests and legal challenges. His rhetoric, often inflammatory, further polarized an already fractured nation. His presidency was marked by scandals, investigations, and impeachment proceedings, culminating in the January 6th Capitol riot. Love him or hate him, Donald Trump's impact on American society is undeniable. He has reshaped the political landscape, emboldened extremist voices, and challenged long-held norms and institutions. His legacy will continue to be debated for years to come, a stark reminder of the fragility of democracy and the enduring power of populism. Donald John Trump's story begins not in the gleaming towers of Manhattan, but in the modest borough of Queens, New York. Born on June 14, 1946, he was the fourth of 5 children in a family already accustomed to a comfortable lifestyle. His father, Fred Trump, was a self-made real estate developer who had built a considerable fortune constructing and managing middle-class housing projects in Brooklyn and Queens. Young Donald grew up surrounded by the trappings of wealth, residing in a sprawling Tudor-style home in the affluent Jamaica Estates neighborhood. Despite the family's financial security, Fred Trump instilled in his children a strong work ethic, emphasizing the importance of discipline and ambition. Even at a young age, Donald exhibited an assertive personality, a trait that would later become his trademark. He attended the Q Forest School, a private preparatory school in Queens, where his assertive personality and penchant for mischief were already evident. Stories abound of his childhood antics, from entrepreneurial ventures selling bubblegum to classmates, to more rebellious acts that tested the patience of his teachers. It was clear that young Donald possessed a sharp mind and an undeniable drive, qualities that would shape his trajectory in the years to come. Donald's father, Fred Trump, loomed large in his life. A stern and demanding figure, Fred had built his real estate empire from the ground up, starting with modest single-family homes and eventually developing large apartment complexes. He instilled in his son a deep understanding of the real estate business, often taking him along to construction sites and business meetings. While Donald learned the practical aspects of construction and negotiation, he also observed his father's shrewd business tactics, some of which would later draw scrutiny and criticism. Fred Trump was known for his aggressive dealings, his ability to navigate the complex world of city permits and government subsidies, and his unwavering focus on maximizing profits. These early experiences profoundly shaped Donald's worldview, instilling in him a belief in the power of leverage, the importance of projecting an aura of success, and a willingness to push boundaries to achieve his goals. However, they also exposed him to the rough-and-tumble world of New York real estate, where deals were made in back rooms, favors were exchanged, and competition was fierce. At the age of 13, Donald's parents, concerned about his increasingly unruly behavior and seeking to instill greater discipline, sent him to the New York Military Academy, a private boarding school in upstate New York. The transition from the comforts of his family's home to the regimented environment of military school was undoubtedly jarring for the young Trump. At NYMA, he excelled in athletics, particularly baseball, where his competitive spirit and natural athleticism shone through. He also learned the importance of teamwork, leadership, and following orders, experiences that would shape his leadership style in later years. Despite the strict environment, Trump's assertive personality and penchant for self-promotion did not diminish. He was known for his outgoing nature, his ability to command attention, and his knack for bending the rules without facing serious consequences. Some classmates recall him as a natural leader, someone who exuded confidence and charisma. After graduating from NYMA in 1964, Donald Trump enrolled at Fordham University, a Jesuit institution in the Bronx. However, he stayed at Fordham for only 2 years before transferring to the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania, drawn by its prestigious reputation and its focus on business. At Wharton, Trump pursued a degree in economics, immersing himself in the world of finance, real estate, and deal-making. He embraced the competitive atmosphere, eager to prove himself among the ambitious sons and daughters of wealthy families. While at Wharton, Trump began to explore real estate opportunities beyond his father's company, seeking out deals and networking with potential investors. He reportedly boasted to classmates about his future success in real estate, claiming that he would one day be bigger than his father. This period marked the beginning of Trump's transition from a brash but inexperienced young man to a more calculating and ambitious entrepreneur, eager to make his mark on the world and step out of his father's shadow. Upon graduating from Wharton in 1968, Donald Trump officially joined his father's company, the Trump Organization. While some heirs to family fortunes might have sought a more independent path, Donald seemed eager to immerse himself in the world that Fred Trump had built. Initially, he focused on the company's core business, developing and managing middle-income housing projects in Brooklyn and Queens. Fred Trump, a shrewd and demanding mentor, provided his son with both opportunities and close scrutiny. Donald learned the intricacies of construction financing, tenant management, and navigating the often Byzantine world of city regulations. However, Donald's ambitions soon extended beyond the traditional, albeit profitable, realm of affordable housing. He yearned for the prestige and glamour of Manhattan, a world of luxury apartments, high-end office buildings, and glittering hotels, a far cry from the brick-and-mortar practicality of his father's developments. Donald saw an opportunity to elevate the Trump brand, to transform it from a name associated with solid working-class housing to one synonymous with opulence and exclusivity. This ambition would soon lead him into the heart of Manhattan, setting the stage for his most audacious projects and the next chapter in his ascent to real estate stardom. In the late 1970s, New York City was facing economic hardship, and the once grand Commodore Hotel, located next to Grand Central Station, had fallen into disrepair. Donald Trump, then in his early 30s, saw an opportunity amidst the urban blight. He envisioned transforming the dilapidated structure into a gleaming symbol of New York City's revitalization. However, securing the rights to redevelop the Commodore Hotel proved challenging. The property was owned by the bankrupt Penn Central Railroad, and numerous other developers had attempted and failed to navigate the complex legal and financial hurdles. Trump, however, possessed a combination of audacity, persistence, and political savvy that would become his hallmark. He negotiated tirelessly with city officials, secured tax breaks, and convinced lenders to back his ambitious vision. The result, in 1980, was the grand opening of the Grand Hyatt Hotel, a stunning architectural achievement that instantly became a symbol of New York City's resurgence. The Grand Hyatt project catapulted Donald Trump into the upper echelons of the New York real estate world. It demonstrated his ability to identify undervalued assets, manage complex projects, and perhaps most importantly, garner media attention. The success of the Grand Hyatt solidified Trump's image as a brash but brilliant dealmaker, a reputation he would carefully cultivate in the years to come. Emboldened by the success of the Grand Hyatt, Donald Trump set his sights on an even more audacious project, constructing a skyscraper that would bear his family name. In 1980, he acquired the site of the Bonwit-Teller Building on Fifth Avenue. The demolition sparked controversy. Despite the controversy, Trump Tower opened to great fanfare in 1983. The building's luxurious apartments and high-end retail spaces became synonymous with 1980s opulence. Trump Tower was a monument to Trump's ego and ambition. While solidifying his presence in Manhattan, Donald Trump set his sights on the burgeoning casino industry in Atlantic City. In 1984, he opened Trump Plaza, his first casino resort. Trump's foray into the casino business would prove to be a double-edged sword. His aggressive expansion saddled his companies with massive debt. Despite the challenges, Trump remained a flamboyant and controversial figure in Atlantic City. By the mid-1980s, Donald Trump had established himself as a major force in the New York real estate market. He craved recognition beyond developers and financiers. Understanding the power of image, he sought name recognition and public adoration. In 1987, he published The Art of the Deal, achieving new fame. The book became an instant bestseller. Ghostwritten by Tony Schwartz, it presented Trump's business philosophy, a blend of bravado, self-promotion, and practical advice. The book resonated with readers captivated by Trump's ambition. Its message of success through willpower and self-belief struck a chord. The Art of the Deal solidified Trump's image as a master negotiator. It transformed him into a cultural icon and a symbol of entrepreneurial ambition. While The Art of the Deal introduced Donald Trump to a wider audience, it was his foray into reality television that truly cemented his status as a household name. In 2004, he partnered with producer Mark Burnett to create The Apprentice, a reality show that pitted aspiring entrepreneurs against each other in a series of business challenges. Trump served as both host and executive producer. His stern demeanor, signature hairstyle, and boardroom pronouncements, "You're fired," becoming instantly recognizable elements of the show's formula. The Apprentice was an immediate hit, drawing in millions of viewers each week eager to witness the drama, competition, and Trump's often unpredictable judgments. The show's success transcended its business premise. It tapped into America's fascination with wealth, success, and the cult of personality. Trump, with his no-nonsense attitude, his penchant for bold pronouncements, and his undeniable charisma, became the embodiment of the show's central theme, the pursuit of success at all costs. The Apprentice not only boosted Trump's wealth and fame, but also provided him with a powerful platform to shape his public image. It allowed him to present himself as a successful businessman, a savvy judge of talent, and a leader with a unique ability to motivate and inspire. Section 3. Master of the Media Universe, Manipulating the Narrative. Throughout his career, Donald Trump demonstrated an innate understanding of the power of media and his ability to manipulate it to his advantage. He cultivated relationships with journalists, providing exclusive interviews and behind-the-scenes access to his projects, ensuring that his name remained in the headlines. He understood the public's appetite for spectacle and controversy, using outrageous statements, carefully staged events, and a constant stream of self-promotion to dominate news cycles and control the narrative surrounding his persona. Trump's mastery of media manipulation extended beyond traditional outlets. He embraced the emerging power of social media, particularly Twitter, using it as a direct line to his growing base of supporters, bypassing traditional gatekeepers and controlling the message on his own terms. His tweets, often provocative and inflammatory, sparked outrage and controversy, but they also kept him front and center in the public consciousness. Trump's ability to command media attention, to shape public perception through carefully crafted pronouncements and calculated controversies, would become a defining characteristic of his career, laying the groundwork for his eventual foray into the world of politics. Section 4. The Price of Fame, Scrutiny, and Scandal. Donald Trump's relentless pursuit of fame and his willingness to court controversy came at a price. His business dealings, personal life, and financial history were subjected to intense scrutiny, often revealing inconsistencies, questionable practices, and allegations of unethical behavior. His highly publicized divorce from Ivana Trump in the early 1990s, fueled by tabloid headlines and accusations of infidelity, painted a less than flattering portrait of his personal life. Financial troubles, including the near bankruptcy of his casino empire in Atlantic City, raised questions about his business acumen and his ability to manage complex financial structures. Despite these setbacks, Trump remained largely unscathed, his Teflon-like ability to deflect criticism and emerge from scandals with his public image seemingly intact. His supporters often dismissed negative press as the product of envy or political bias, while Trump himself skillfully deflected blame, claiming to be a victim of unfair attacks and media bias. This pattern of courting controversy, weathering scandals, and emerging with his public persona intact would continue throughout his career, culminating in his tumultuous entry into the world of politics, where the stakes were higher and the scrutiny even more intense. Section 1. A flirtation with politics, testing the waters. Donald Trump's interest in politics predated his 2016 presidential run. Throughout his career, he had flirted with the idea of seeking public office, often using his celebrity status and media savvy to comment on political issues and even hint at potential campaigns. As early as the late 1980s, he toyed with the idea of running for president, delivering speeches, granting interviews, and even taking out full-page ads in major newspapers to expound on his views on foreign policy and the economy. In 2000, he briefly campaigned for the Reform Party's presidential nomination, participating in debates and attracting media attention for his unconventional views and his outsider status. While his Reform Party bid ultimately fizzled out, it provided valuable experience in navigating the world of political campaigns, fundraising, and media scrutiny. Moreover, it allowed him to test drive his populist message, railing against the political establishment, corporate greed, and the perceived decline of American power on the world stage. These early forays into politics, though ultimately unsuccessful, foreshadowed Trump's future political ambitions and his ability to tap into a vein of discontent among voters disillusioned with the status quo. In the years leading up to the 2016 presidential election, Donald Trump became increasingly vocal in his criticism of President Barack Obama's policies, particularly on issues such as immigration, trade, and foreign policy. He questioned Obama's birthplace and legitimacy as president, tapping into a vein of conspiracy theories and racial animus that resonated with a segment of the electorate. Trump's rhetoric, often inflammatory and divisive, resonated with a growing number of Americans who felt left behind by globalization, frustrated with political correctness, and disillusioned with the perceived failures of both the Democratic and Republican establishments. It was during this period that Trump adopted the slogan, "Make America Great Again," a phrase that would become synonymous with his campaign and his presidency. The slogan, with its evocation of a bygone era of American prosperity and dominance, proved incredibly potent, tapping into a deep well of nostalgia and anxiety among voters who believed that America had lost its way. It offered a simple, emotionally resonant message that transcended traditional political ideology, appealing to those who felt that their country had been weakened by globalization, immigration, and the perceived erosion of traditional values. Make America Great Again became a rallying cry for Trump's supporters, a potent symbol of his promise to restore America to its former glory. When Donald Trump announced his candidacy in June 2015, few took him seriously. Pundits and even his own party dismissed him as a sideshow. But Trump tapped into deep anger and frustration in American politics. His rallies drew huge crowds and dominated news cycles. Unconstrained by political norms, he became the voice of the forgotten American. He railed against the corrupt establishment and fake news media. His message of nationalism and economic anxiety resonated with voters. The 2016 presidential election between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton was one of the most contentious in American history. Trump's campaign, fueled by his fiery rhetoric and promise to make America great again, exposed deep divisions within American society. Clinton struggled to connect with working-class voters in key swing states while Trump's populist message resonated. The campaign was marred by allegations of foreign interference and Trump's inflammatory rhetoric. The election became a referendum on the very soul of America. The unexpected triumph. On election night 2016, Donald Trump defied all expectations, pulling off one of the most stunning upsets in American political history. State after state, traditionally Democratic strongholds fell to Trump, delivering him the electoral votes needed to secure the presidency. While Clinton won the popular vote, Trump's victory in the Electoral College exposed deep divisions within American society. Trump's victory sent shockwaves around the world, leaving many wondering how he could ascend to the highest office. His victory was a testament to the power of populism and his ability to tap into voter frustration. It was a victory for the history books, reshaping the political landscape and redefining the Republican Party. The unexpected triumph of Donald Trump marked a turning point in American history. Section 1. A tumultuous inauguration setting the tone. Donald Trump's inauguration as the 45th President of the United States on January 20, 2017, was a stark departure from the celebratory atmosphere that typically accompanied such events. Protests erupted in Washington, D.C. and across the country as millions of Americans expressed their opposition to Trump's policies. In their place was a dark and divisive message, one that painted a bleak picture of American carnage. He promised to put America first, to restore American jobs, and to make America great again. The inauguration marked the beginning of a tumultuous and deeply consequential chapter in American history. Section 2. The Domestic Agenda, Tax Cuts, Deregulation, and Cultural Wars. The Trump administration swiftly enacted its domestic agenda, prioritizing tax cuts, deregulation, and rolling back Obama-era policies. In December 2017, Trump signed the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, slashing taxes for corporations and wealthy Americans. Republicans hailed the tax cuts as economic boosts, while Democrats criticized them as giveaways to the rich. The administration aggressively pursued deregulation, rolling back environmental protections and financial regulations. Beyond economics, Trump waded into cultural battles, targeting abortion rights, LGBTQ+ rights, and immigration policies. Trump appointed conservative judges, including 2 Supreme Court justices, solidifying a conservative majority. These actions ignited fierce opposition from progressive groups, further polarizing the nation. One of the most enduring legacies of Donald Trump's presidency will be his impact on the federal judiciary. Trump prioritized filling vacancies with conservative judges who shared his judicial philosophy. With Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell's help, Trump appointed a record number of federal judges. This included 54 appellate judges and 3 Supreme Court justices: Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and Barrett. Trump's appointments were overwhelmingly white, male, and conservative. Many were young, ensuring long-term influence. The conservative tilt has impacted issues like abortion, gun control, LGBTQ+ rights, and voting rights. The Supreme Court's conservative majority may overturn landmark precedents like Roe v. Wade. Trump's reshaping of the judiciary will have far-reaching implications for generations. Donald Trump's presidency was defined by his America First approach, emphasizing American sovereignty. He withdrew from the Trans-Pacific Partnership and imposed tariffs on China, sparking a trade war. Trump clashed with NATO allies demanding increased defense spending. He met with Kim Jong-un, but talks failed to denuclearize North Korea. Trump withdrew from the Iran nuclear deal and reimposed sanctions. Donald Trump's presidency was plagued by scandal, controversy, and investigations from its earliest days. He faced accusations of obstruction of justice related to the investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election, ethical violations stemming from his business dealings, and abuses of power in his dealings with foreign leaders. In December 2019, Trump became the third U.S. president in history to be impeached by the House of Representatives, charged with abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. The charges stemmed from his efforts to pressure Ukraine to investigate his political rival, Joe Biden, and his administration's subsequent refusal to cooperate with the impeachment inquiry. The Senate, however, acquitted Trump on both charges in February 2020, with no Republicans voting to convict. The impeachment saga further polarized an already divided nation, with Democrats accusing Trump of betraying his oath of office and Republicans defending him as the victim of a partisan witch hunt. Trump's impeachment, while ultimately unsuccessful in removing him from office, cast a shadow over his presidency and left a lasting stain on his legacy. It also highlighted the deep partisan divisions within American society and the erosion of democratic norms and institutions. As the 2020 presidential election approached, the United States found itself grappling with a deadly pandemic, a reeling economy, and a deeply divided electorate. The COVID-19 pandemic, which first emerged in late 2019, quickly spread across the globe, reaching the United States in early 2020. The Trump administration's response to the pandemic was widely criticized as slow, chaotic, and often contradictory. Trump downplayed the severity of the virus, promoted unproven treatments, and resisted calls to implement nationwide mask mandates or social distancing guidelines. The pandemic had a devastating impact on the U.S. economy, leading to widespread job losses, business closures, and a sharp decline in economic activity. Against this backdrop of crisis and uncertainty, the 2020 presidential election became a referendum not only on Trump's presidency, but also on the direction of the country. Trump, campaigning on a platform of law and order economic nationalism and a return to normalcy, faced off against former Vice President Joe Biden, the Democratic nominee, who promised to unite the country, combat the pandemic, and restore America's standing in the world. The election, conducted amid a pandemic and a surge in mail-in voting, was one of the most consequential and fiercely contested in American history. Donald Trump's presidency ended as it began, shrouded in controversy, defiance, and an unshakable belief in his own narrative. His refusal to accept the results of the 2020 election and his role in the January 6th Capitol riot left an indelible stain on his legacy. He fundamentally reshaped the Republican Party and energized a base of voters who felt unheard. Whether history will judge him kindly remains an open question. His legacy, forged in division, defiance, will continue to shape the political landscape for years to come.